What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Super Princess Peach. So, today, let's finish off the last episode. So, anyways, while we finished this last episode, I thought I finished a summary. I'll just give you a summary of what I was talking about in the last episode. I was pretty much talking about life in a way, and also talking about a few other things. I talked about Cream the Rabbit at some point. Oh yeah, because I was relating to Cream the Rabbit, right? Because basically this is what my face would look like. Pretty much all the time, like very sour, dry, and pretty much all the above of a depressed person, really. Although I wasn't exactly depressed, I was just kind of like, bleh. So I'm like, yeah, like I guess editor me will probably point the picture up, which funny enough, like this is whatever. I'm not gonna get in the whole terminology of the timeline of when things happen here and there. But anyways, needless to say, sorry that this premiere happened super late. I initially did not want to make this a premiere just because of the sheer fact that I have literally another episode to make. I mean, quite literally, I have to go through 8-8 and 8-9 as well at the time of this recording. So yes, we're not going all the way to the end of the game, unfortunately, guys, but we do get to 8-7, so there you go. Now, what was it that I wanted to summarize? Oh yeah, I wanted to summarize, what was it? Yeah, I wanted to summarize something about, pretty much, yeah, like the sheer moment of, like pretty much of Cream the Rabbit, basically. So, basically what I wanted to say is that, yeah, like, she's basically past the point of anger where it's like you just barely don't want to fight anymore, but you have fight left in you to some degree. And yeah, so that's basically what the whole gist of everything is on this whole what was it? This whole thing, really. So, as kind of promised, not really, we're going to be talking about the state of play. So, I'm probably going to just kind of like run through it like the ABCs, like a 5-year-old would say LMNOP. Go ahead. Try and sing it as a 5-year-old. Oh, actually, there shouldn't be any 5-year-olds watching this anyway. So, anyway, here's, overall, state of play. Started off pretty strong. Had some pretty good games. Horror games. More horror games. Sword games. So fighting games. Cool games. I'm gonna list them out. Don't worry. And well, let's just go over it, right? We have Wolverine that releases on September 15th. Pretty cool, but not really my interest. As well as the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls release, which is going to be releasing on August 6th. Doesn't really pique too much of my interest. And it's funny how more informative I'm getting with gaming, actually. It's kind of funny, really. But then came a game that actually kind of piqued my interest, which is kind of funny because it is pretty much a game that would appeal to kids, really. And it's Rayman Legends Retold, and it releases on October 1st. That is a game that I might want to try to play, if at all possible, on PC, if I ever, afford a PC of any sorts. So, there were, funny enough, fun fact, when I used to be able to have access to the PS2, there was a Rayman game, and I can't put my head on it, but I've played, like, the first, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of the game, maybe. And, well, to be quite fair, I never really finished it because I had never figured out how to play the game. So, yeah. And I was only, like, maybe, like, 7 or 6 years old at the time. So, there was that as well to look at, which is kind of funny because I don't know. I get the feeling that my life was pretty much a blur from the ages of like when I started developing a coherent memory of playing video games till I guess 5th grade, because that was a whole blur and a half in a way. And I was like, huh? So, I don't know. But anyways, we get the Rayman game. Pretty cool. Bancho Chef release. By the way, I guess the reason why it appeals to me is because I'm a huge fan of platformers. Maybe that's what it is. I really like platformers, and that's just, you know, that's just my take on it. I think platformers are pretty much one of the best games out there, next to RPGs. Although, to be fair, after seeing like Resident Evil Requiem and, you know, Pragmata, I'm kind of like, it's not my favorite take on games, but I can see why people love or like those types of games. It's actually like, you know, interesting to just see somebody play it. It's like, okay, you know what? Like, me watching it makes me want to play it now. And just play it just for fun and not even having to 100% anything. Because, I mean, I could try to attempt to, obviously. But there will be things like, possibly those are the types of games I might play on stream, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Although, yeah. Okay. According to my audience or whatnot, I don't know. But, let me see here. We have, Kamuri, which releases on 2027. Freelantis or Fetlantis? Yeah. So we have Tomb Raider's Legacy of Fetlantis, which releases at February 12th, 2027. And then The Lost Wild releases on 2027. Then we get Phantom Blade Zero, which releases this summer. Alright, cool. The trailer itself releases this summer. I don't know about the actual game. I think now I've been hit by every underwater enemy at this point now. That is actually unfortunately sad to state at this moment. Sorry. Anyways, maybe it might have been a mod here. So now we have Dune Awakening. I don't want to talk too much about that. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remaster. Again, it's another remaster, so cool. Releases on October. A lot of these games are getting released in the fall, which is kind of crazy. Like, all right, we're gonna be hefty in the fall, for sure. I mean, I'm not, but everyone else is that chooses to buy these video games and, you know, when they release and or pre-order it or whatnot, you know. So, No Rest for the Wicked releases on October. No specific date has been set yet. Animusha, Way of the Sword, releases September 25th. Silent Hill Townfall releases on September 24th, 2026, which, yeah, it's a horror game, so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know. I'm starting to have a keen for horror games now, which is kind of funny. I guess if you like listen to video game music for super long and then try to like expand your horizons to other video games to see if there's anything better out there, which I'm actually gonna start listening to Expedition 33 music sometime this weekend, maybe, I don't know, but something. And you realize like there's so much, you know, good music out there. Like, yeah, Nintendo has pretty great music, but this is, you know, like, oh my gosh. And then some will be on par to some degree, right? But anyways, we have Stuntman Hollywood. Oh wait, no. Let's not skip this. Because this actually looks pretty cool. The game right here, Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief. The game looks phenomenal. It looks visually amazing. I mean, a lot of these games look visually amazing to some degree. Like, you know, I'm gonna be completely honest on that one. Like, yeah, they do. But, you know, this game looked pretty good. Really, it looked really good. So, yeah. So now we've reached the Stuntman Hollywood release, which releases soon. Basically, there's no There's no indicator on that. I guess. I don't know. On when soon will be. Then we reach another horror game. Ill. Yeah, I don't know what to really say about that game, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry. This video is gonna be kind of cringe for the first 12 minutes. I'm sorry, but I promise you the rest of the video will kind of play out to, like, you know, relating to certain things, because I'm more of a deep talker, and really when it comes to the topics that I actually talk about and have passionate about, like, I'll actually talk really deeply on it and kind of like try to broaden some views on it, and just kind of like, not obviously like, well, I mean, yeah, I am kind of whatever. I'm not gonna go in too deep with that one, but I like to, like, hear about other people's intakes that are, like, pretty much like, okay, like, no, I have a different take on it, no, I don't like this take, I like this take better, or blah blah blah, I don't know. So anyways, then we reach to Control Resonant, which releases September 24th. Alright, cool. Then we actually, we don't need to talk about this game. This game's failing. So, if you're wondering what game I'm skipping to talk about, it's Marathon. Anyways, well, it's not like I'm talking about any of these video games really anyway, because I don't really have much thoughts to really say. So, anyways, we released to RuneScape Dragon Wilds, which releases in the autumn. Which, to be quite frank, I'm not really looking forward to that game, and I'm not gonna say why. I just have a feeling that it's not gonna be a game that I'm looking forward to. So, we have Gitaroo Man, which releases in June. This is pretty cool. It's another re-release from PS2 era. Nice. Conspiracy releases July 2026. Nice. Omnishu, Dawn of Dreams were also, and then releases on August of this year. So now we reach another horror game, and then, which is Until Dawn, which actually is a concept that I was like, okay, this I gotta see and play it myself at some point, because I don't know, I've never played an official game where there's multiple endings, and you may ask, like, what do you mean? Like, there's multiple endings to each game. Like, no. I mean, like, there's a good ending, a bad ending, mediocre ending, mid-ending, you know, stuff like that. I want, like, to play a game where I can see, like, okay, this is the ending I get. Alright, now I'm gonna look up how I get the other endings and then just go from there. Because, like, there's things that I'll probably, like, do that would trigger a certain ending, obviously. And then find out what the canonical ending is, which is actually what got me, and what got me into liking that was, funny enough, the Sonic EXE series from Spirits of Hell, basically. It's actually kind of funny how that brought me into it, because, you know, like, I mean, you take away, like, just take the concept out of, like, the horrorness of it, or at least just take a concept of having multiple endings, and it's just like, boom, like, it's crazy where you can go with, like, certain things, and you know, in the scope of everything, really. Then we reach the game that should have been, honestly, like, something that, honestly, I don't even know. Like, this is just, I can't. So, some people really are very passionate about this game, and I'm gonna be honest, I can see why. And I can honestly, like, see how night and day that this is not what it was. If you were to tell me that this last game that was supposed to be released is God of War, I would have laughed in your face and said, what? That's God of War? I thought God of War was supposed to be like some sort of, like, you know, like, dude fighting gods and, you know, in Greek mythology and everything like that. Like, that's what I thought it was supposed to be about, escaping death and everything like that, and kind of like fighting fate, basically. And that's what I thought God of War was to me. I've never exactly played it myself or really have much info on the series, but if anybody were to ask me what it was, that's how I would describe it, at least, where it's like you're fighting fate, basically, if there was a summary key point to it. Like, that's the key point. You fight fate, and that's pretty much it. And you keep fighting to the very end. And, well, you have this giant cube in the background who has a sword. They're sentient, and I'm like, okay, so this isn't God of War. Okay, got it. Cause I looked at the background, I'm like, what the flip is this cube doing in the background? Like, why is there a cube in the battle? Why? It's so stupid. And like, I would be okay with stupid if it was funny, but it was just... Or at least if it made sense to be funny. Which it never did to me. To me, at least, it didn't. I don't see how, in what planet it was funny at all, and I'm just like, what? So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna just like call it here with this segment on that, because there is another segment that I actually wanted to bring up that's probably gonna take the rest of this entire video, because it's a whole situation that I'm gonna probably get constant updates from as we go on, because I'm watching a stream on it, because this actually piqued my interest completely, because when I saw him react to it and then I'm like looking at the situation myself, I'm like, what the actual flip is happening here? So if you want to know what it, well, I'm gonna probably reveal it right now. And that's game, or not game, it's not a game. It actually, it's not even a game so badly. Like, it's, the situation itself is a lawsuit, and I never thought it's like a lawsuit where it's actively like, usually lawsuits are handled like behind the scenes, and like you don't want to speak too much about it and whatnot. You want to be professional about it, but nah, this is gonna be broadcasted, man, and I am 100% supporting this guy, and you should too. And I'm probably gonna like leave the video. I'm probably gonna leave the video in the description, probably the first two parts, and as the third part gets released, you know where I'm going with this. Yes, this is the lawsuit of we steal from old people, or as you can call it from the actual company, bricks and minifigs. Yes, I am calling that out because there is a situation amongst it, and I probably am going to do a very, very butchering job on explaining the actual situation at hand, because the thing is, kind of ironic that I'm crying across the screen while I'm explaining about this, but it is something worth, I mean, maybe not bawling my tears over about it, but I would consider like defending it, because or not consider, I'm actually defending it. I'll if there's any way I can do to help, which probably is no way for me to help at all whatsoever. I would say this is what's, you know, like, this is my way of helping, I guess, like spreading awareness of it. Go watch the videos. Part 3 is going to be coming out soon, because that's what the YouTuber Reckless Ben has pretty much announced. And if you want to see like the whole entire situation unfold at hand, I'm going to leave the links in the description below as to the situation, because this is a topic that I'm going to probably just give a little summary about, and then just kind of like you know, just kind of like you know, bring it to light, and then just kind of like, you know, bring some realization at the very least. So what is it that I wanted to say? Oh, right. So the whole system with like the situation. What's the situation itself? So Legos have been stolen and brought into a company. The company is obligated to, you know, like pretty much bring back the money back, like, you know, to the original owner of those Legos. And either the Legos get brought back, or the money that got, like, you know, the money that it was worth gets compensated. I believe it was around $100,000 or $200,000. I can't remember for sure, but before Ben got involved in any sense, this person's son, who was actually rightfully owned for the money, while the dad has left. I'm guessing like he left to another place or something like that. I think he left to another country completely, maybe for his retirement life. I don't remember for sure. But the thing is that I really don't know the full situation at hand. So that's why I want you guys to go check it out yourself, so that way you guys can see the cinematic, movie. The movie is like literally, it's not a movie. It's like a YouTube video, but it's cinematic. Really, it is. And the whole video is like an hour and a half long. So that's the first part. And the second part's like around 45 to about an hour long, 45 to 60 minutes long. And then the response, or I guess I would call it the epilogues, to like kind of like your DLC pack to the two videos, are like about 15 minutes long. So I'm not saying to set. I mean, unless you really have nothing else better to do. If you want to set aside some time to check out the situation yourself, it's really interesting and just really crazy how the system is just like, there's always bad apples in a batch and everything that there is. And it's actually become more common than it is like not common, because there used to be a time where we had a town, we had a place, a community where if wrong things were being done, that a community came together and will call it out as it is, and then nip it in the butt right away. And there wouldn't be any extensive crap towards the whole entire thing in general. And if it does extend, it's like for probable reasons to like get things like situated, get things lined up, to get the full truth out, really. To make sure that the full story or accusations or anything, like any punishments or anything that's going to be done, is done justly and not in ill intent, and it's done with the proper way of, the proper way that it needs to be done. There used to be a time where we were able to do that. So I look at the situation, and to summarize it all together, what is it? Like, yeah, so the Legos get stolen. And then the person that was supposed to get the money back or get the Legos back has been basically trespassed off the Bricks and Minifigs building, the place where they sell Legos. And if you want to know specifically which Legos were stolen, I think it was the Star Wars Legos. And these Legos were like, they were like limited edition Star Wars Legos, I believe. Like they were like good Legos. Like they were Legos that were made in the 2000s. I think weren't Legos first made in the 1990s? I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure they were, right? Yeah, I don't think Legos were that new. They were made in the 1990s, 1980s, I'm talking those Legos that were, pretty good, like just really good, like really good Legos. Like they're worth a lot of money if you were to buy them from an owner today or something like that. Like they're worth a lot of money. And so it's not something where you could just play around with. And then so that's why the lawsuit is being held forward. Or at least trying to get held forward, but the person that stole it is refusing to take the court papers and being a big baby about it because he knows he's in the wrong, and he tried to get the YouTuber arrested 3 times already, and the 3rd time it was going to be without bail. So the dude literally had to like straight up like, I don't want to say too much about the situation, but I mean you can see it for yourself because I don't want to spoil it. But basically, yeah, he literally had to flee the country just so authority didn't reach too far to like try to take one person to jail, which by the way did nothing wrong and is being accused of false accusations, false things, which is illegal and actually criminally charged. And actually there's a lot of additional charges that he could literally put against this dude if he was, if he were to, on his, literally on his own, without the person trying to help this other guy out that's just trying to get the money back for this one person, he literally himself, the situation, dismissing like the whole entire Lego thing, could literally file another lawsuit on this guy alone for making these accusations. Because you can't be telling people, oh yeah, this person wanted to commit murder or threatening murder on me, when he never said so. And that's completely wrong. And then you have people that are siding with the criminal, and it's just messed up, and we're supposed to allow that? I'm sorry, but that is just sad, and that is absolutely the most retarded way to handle the justice system. I'm sorry, it is. Because if there was any wrongdoing, and there is speculation, then handle the speculation with caution, and go through it like normal citizens and normal, rational people. But apparently we can't do that anymore, because if there's any sort of, will of anybody that's trying to get anything good out of this situation, it's just turning into a pack of wolves fighting over who has the ownership to the food, because one wolf pack killed one deer, and then the other wolf pack that helped was like, well, we technically own this. And it's like, okay, I mean, a completely different situation aside, an example, but this is where it's coming to. We're turning into animals that are just straight up just, not even being rational, and we're supposed to be okay with that, not put these people away. I think these people that are out there, they need to absolutely be put away. So I hope to see a situation where this guy not only gets sued or even gets charged, but he gets put in jail for this, because that is not right. Like, you cannot accuse people for saying certain things that never were said in the first place. That's lies, and actually could literally be liable for any future, like literally any future causes for anything of the said person, or I don't know, it's for any said situation, really. Because you're looking at this person and you're saying like, oh, this person's gonna just be in bad faith. Now, if the person was lying and whatnot, yeah, I could understand that. But this person, I've watched these few videos myself, and actually really the reactions to it, but but I'm gonna actually take my time to watch it myself, maybe later on today, or actually during the premiere, really. But I'm gonna take a look at it myself, and it's just absolutely sad to see that this is happening. But I saw nothing wrong with this kid, really. This kid's not doing anything wrong, and he's being accused of all these things, and it's like, so why is he being accused of this again? Like, he shouldn't really be accused of anything in this situation at all. So that's where I'm leaving the mark on that one. And that's the situation that's at hand. And right now he's getting, I think he set up a GoFundMe as well. If any of you are have any money set aside to like lend some money. I mean, I obviously don't, unfortunately. I wish I did. Otherwise, I would probably donate to this. But this is like, we're trying to help this. We're trying to help this person out, and like, you have these police officers that are covering the situation up from the criminal's perspective, and it's, I don't know, like, it's just not right. Like I said, I'm repeating circles again, and like I said, take a look at the situation yourself, and that's really all I can really say at the current moment. So I'm not gonna read the dialogue because I've read it already before. So anyways, what was it else that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, so the situation. Oh, has it been long enough? I think it's been long enough. I mean, it's been like 2 months since the Mario Galaxy movie came out. So let's see. What do I actually think about it? Well, the first one was okay. It was a solid, like, maybe a 7, maybe 8. Like a solid 7. I would give it a solid 7, I would say. This one, not so much. This is more like a 4, maybe 5. I can't decide which one I wanted to go with. because if it's a if it's a 4 or 5, it's hard to really give it a good judgment. So it's and yeah, I don't know. Also, you can literally just keep juggling the Army Hammer roll around, and that's what happens. So it's kind of funny. Sorry, I'm just like still mesmerized how I was able to do that, because usually he would still get one cutscene in, but it never happened. So it was, you know, like it actually worked out. So yeah. So funny thing about this, like, so I'm gonna talk about the video game a little bit. So second time around, when you try to defeat Bowser, he is, instead of taking 1 hit, I think he still took 2 hits in the first time around. I can't remember if that's right or not, but he I don't know why he did that. That was like stupid to do that. He's like, yay! Now Princess Peach is here! Yay! She's here! Yay! She's here to see me! Like, yeah, I'm here to see you so I can rescue Mario. You dummy! Like, you really need to get your stuff right. Oh crap! I forgot he could do that attack. Now he's crying because like, oh, she's not here to see me. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna stop reenacting the entire scene, because again, then his next phase is angry, like, ah, man, I'm getting beat by a girl, no. So whatever, yeah, but basically in his giant form, which it'll happen soon, he then takes 2 hits, actually 10 hits in total before the boss fight ends, depending if you defeat his, like, what was it? His barrier, his sleeping barrier, in time. Otherwise, it'll take a lot more hits. So yeah, it will take 2 hits per, like, you know, like, I don't know. He has 10 hit points at this point. So in this form, he has 10 hit points, just like in the last one. So yeah, a little weird, but that's just how it works here, I guess. So what was it? Yeah. I'm just like saying yeah, huh. Okay, so the Mario Galaxy movie, yes. So my thoughts on it, it felt like one big. So so the story was developing pretty well to some degree, and it was actually going pretty well, like with the startup. I mean, showing Junior as like the main antagonist, obviously, like that was pretty sick. The opening cutscene was great. The opening part of the movie was absolutely fantastic, and you know it was all great and grand, and how things were opening up, setting the scene, and shoot. Yeah, maybe I should try to get extra health. Yeah, maybe I'll show that off. Who knows? But what was I saying before? So this is what I was saying. It had potential, and then as soon as like Yoshi showed up, was when it just turned into one big old like pretty much reference documentary. Like, oh, remember when this happened in this game? Remember this from that game? Remember this from that game? Remember that guy? You remember this guy? You remember that? Absolutely. You remember this person, right? Yeah. Keep laughing. Keep doing this. Yeah. Remember this reference? Yeah. Remember this from that game? Oh yeah. Remember this? Oh yeah. And remember that? Like, it gets really annoying after a while. And it's like, it's not bad to have references here and there. I mean, it's a Mario movie, nonetheless. But to then just say like, yeah, this is supposed to be for a kids movie, and then like, I get it is a kids movie, but kids are not stupid. I mean, unless you're okay. All right. I mean, I could probably finish that joke because I am in America, but you know where I was going with that, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, like the whole like yeah, I mean, I have a lot of controversy on the education system itself. I mean, if let's just put it this way: if your kid does not know how to multiply by the age of 10 or 11, figure it out. Figure out a way to like teach them, because it's not a good look on. Oh, I was literally about to die. That was pog right there. That was absolutely pog that I just like did that completely. So, anyways, where was I at? Oh yeah, yeah, with the education system, like, and when I mean like not advanced multiplication, just like basic, like, you know, 1 through 12 multiplication. Like, you know, like if someone were to tell me, hey, what's 6 times 7? That would be 42. What's 6 times 9? That's easy, 54. What's 7 times 10? 70. What's 8 times 9? 72. I mean, basic math, right? Basic multiplication. If your kid cannot do that by the age of 10 or 11, your kid needs to get some extra help before middle school, or just figure it out, because your kid needs to, like, seriously, like, and I'm being serious with that, about this, like, your kid's gonna fall behind, and then, you know, we're teaching society to rely on tools as a crutch instead of enhancing ourselves to be able to use it to the full potential that it needs to be used to, you know, better ourselves and make ourselves smarter, or at least just, you know, learn, basically. Because this whole thing with, like, yeah, anyways, I'm on a full side tangent about the education, but you get where I'm saying with the Mario movie, though. Like, kids are not stupid. Like, if they look at a story, they're gonna remember it. And I think if I was 10 years old watching that movie, I think I would have just saw that as like, oh, look, it's just references. Like, there was no meaning behind it. Like, yeah, it ends with like Princess Peach and Rosalina having this special like bond power because they're technically sisters in the movie universe, which is absolutely bizarre. If anything, I don't think what was it? I don't think Rosalina and Peach would have been related by any means in the movie or in the game. I would have seen Rosalina as like maybe if they were related, maybe as a distant cousin, maybe at best, but definitely not sisters. But then again, I don't know. It's just like it doesn't make any sense, and we're supposed to be okay with that because it's the Mario movie too, and it's like, look, it's Yoshi. Yoshi was also in Mario Galaxy as well. That's why we're bringing him into this movie and calling it the Mario Galaxy movie because it would be cinematic. Like, I've seen speculations, I've seen like criticisms, I've seen a lot of like things online where they were a lot more harsher than I am. So I feel like I'm being fair when I'm saying that I would rate it a 4 out of 10 instead of a. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's a 4 out of 10. I'm not rating it any higher than that. Sorry. I think I've made a final decision on that one. But that's the end of that. For that. But like, to talk about the video game and the movie, to like compare the two. If you were to saw the Super Mario movie and then compare it to the, I guess like the first few games with side scrollers and like referencing like to like the whatchamacallit, like literally the first few games that were the 2D side scrollers, I would have said, okay, pretty cinematic, but it would have been, you know, like it was okay, like I said, it was okay, it was a good movie to some degree, but man, did I not think it would have gotten any worse than that. Like and then I don't know, like I said, like introducing all the characters, it felt like introducing them was kind of forced. It really felt forced, because when you introduce Yoshi, like I could have saw Yoshi in the movie if it was kind of like a B plot and A plot thing, right? Like, my idea for the movie would have been like, you know, keep the 2 cutscenes, like, yeah, like Mario and Luigi go find Yoshi, right? Now they rescue Yoshi, but because Yoshi was so frightened and scared, he ran away, and just straight up just left. You know, he just dipped, right? Now, because he was just super scared, right? So then the thing that happens here is that, you know, Mario and Luigi go on with their days. They go into the Star Festival as normal. Like, I thought that was pretty cool, like, to introduce that. And then, when that happened, you know, then obviously you had that scene with the princess and Mario, obviously, and then, you know, that whole thing. But then, before we even cut to the festival, we will cut to, like, you know, Junior taking, like, Rosalina to Planet Bowser, right? And so, like, obviously Rosalina gets captured right now, right? And so, the baby Luma, or the Luma kids, you know, they catch wind of this, like, the aftermath, like, huh, where's our mom at? Like, and so they try to figure it out, and then they see some sort of, like, maybe Junior could have left a message or left a mark behind saying, like, hey, like, I was here, you losers, like, blah, blah, blah. So then, after that, then it cuts to, like, you know, them, like, okay, well, who can we call for help? And then they decide, okay, you know what, we'll go call Mario for help. I'm sure that he'll be around, right? So then they go to the Star Festival, and then, you know, then he shoots down, right? Now, little does anybody know, but then, like, you know, the Luma shows up, right? He tries to warn everybody, like, hey, like, I think there's somebody that captured my mom, and we need your help. Could you go to the Gateway Galaxy to find out who it is? So then Princess Peach and Toad then embark on this journey, and that turns into, that's still the A plot, right? But then, or actually no, that was the B plot. A plot comes in, and, you know, obviously that whole scene plays out with Junior trying to retrieve his father and whatnot. That continues on, you know, like taking the entire castle and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And Junior was going to try to, like, impress his dad by killing two birds with one stone, because, like, to be completely fair with you, like, Junior gets stuff done. And, yeah, I don't know. To go from there, I feel like the plot could have been, I mean, if you want me to do a whole analysis on that, I'll probably do that in the next episode, because, yeah, I've talked quite a lot about a lot of things in this episode with Bricks and Minifigs and the Galaxy movie, obviously, just now. And then with the PlayStation State. Hope you guys like the new God of War. So, I don't know. Yeah, but I think that I'm going to call it for this premiere, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to extend it for way too long now. So, I'm going to call it right here. With that being said, keep your eyes peeled for the next LP next week. And until the next video, leave it a like, give some awareness. Definitely go check out the videos that I leave in the description below to go check out the situation with the Bricks and Minifigs, because I think you really should. It's actually really cool and interesting. I'm gonna go watch them right now, actually. And with that being said, don't forget to shine bright and stay bright.